So, what can I say about this year? First, it was Jamie's birthday back in January, and I surprised him by taking him to Pizza Hut, and I didn't tell him where we were going. And I arranged for all his mates to be there, so I had a meal, and then I went to the pub. But I find pubs really boring because people just talk, and I prefer to do activities than just talking most of the time. So I left early, but he had a good time, so I'm really glad about that. Then in February was Valentine's Day, and I wore a cute outfit, and Jamie got me the heart pushing, and I think that was the last pre-COVID meal out. I went to Nando's, and that was really good, and I had no idea what was about to happen back then. So in March, things started to kick off. I started a work placement, which was meant to be a 12-week thing, and it only lasted 2 weeks. It was an office job, and I was really enjoying it, and it was 4 days a week, so it was full days, and it was really good. And yeah, it was one of my best work placements, but I started on the 2nd of March, and I think it must have been the 17th. On the Tuesday, I got a phone call saying not to come back in. So it lasted 2 weeks and 1 day. Well, I was kind of expecting it by that point. It was rumours of everything getting shut down. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm quarantined now. And the last few months were pretty challenging. But Animal Crossing came out right at the right time. So in lockdown, I was just playing Animal Crossing every day. And that helped me stay occupied, but obviously there was nowhere to go, and I really missed going outside and doing fun things. And the worst part was I couldn't see Jamie because I had to be away from him back then. I just got really emotional at that time, and my birthday really sucked. Yeah, in the video you can see I had to stay apart from Jamie. And it was just like any other day in lockdown, and I like to do something a bit exciting for my birthday, but that never happened. So that was pretty bad. So after a few months of that terrible time, I was finally reunited with Jamie, and it was one of my highlights of the year, 100%. I've seen him a couple of times in lockdown, but socially distanced, and I bought him a care package one time. And it was really weird having to stay away from him, because the first thing I do when he turns up is give him a hug, and I couldn't even do that, and it was just felt wrong. But when the lockdown ended, I got to hug him for the first time, and I cried because it was so emotional, and that was just such a good day. So luckily I'm using my bubble and not letting him out of it, so I haven't had to be apart from him since. So in August we decided to have a little holiday. We went to Morpeth, which is not very far from us. It was a pretty short journey, but I didn't want to risk going anywhere too far. I love that place. I went to Carlisle Park, and it was just a beautiful forest and beautiful nature, and I love nature so much, so I love that, and I'd like to go back there again sometime. So we had to have a short holiday and somewhere that was pretty close, because there's no chance of going to London this year, which was really sad. I've been to London every year for the past 7 years, I think. So not being able to travel meant I couldn't see my dad because he lives in London, and this is the first time I've gone an entire year without seeing my dad. So that was really sad. I mean, at least he didn't die, but no, it was still pretty bad, and I absolutely cannot wait till I can go back to London. I actually had a pretty good Christmas as well, which I think not a lot of people can say that, sadly. But yeah, Christmas was pretty normal and pretty good. I also got the sides of my hair shaved. Got that done back in July. When the hairdressers first opened, I was like, I know what I need to do right away. Because I've been thinking about it for a year, but I chickened out last year. And now I've just got it redone today. Best and worst parts of the year, well, the worst is pretty obvious. COVID was just ruined everything. From March to June was, I guess, the worst time because it was proper lockdown and not being able to see Jamie and not being able to see anybody apart from my nana and granda, and I was sick of the sight of them because they were the only people I ever saw for months. The best things, one was Animal Crossing. That was the best £50 I ever spent because I played on it nearly every day this year and I feel like I really got my money's worth. Best moment of the year was my reunion with Jamie. So who knows? I don't really have any solid plans for next year. There's a lot of things I'd like to do, but as the year's gone on, I've slowly begun to lose hope of this virus ending anytime soon. So I just hope it's pretty much over by the end of next year, but it's kind of impossible to tell. I know the start of the year is probably going to be pretty wild. And that's pretty much my thoughts and how the year's been.